Hey everyone, Dr. Jere here with Mills Chiropractic and Wellness Center. And this month we have decided that we're going to focus on inflammation. Now, if you caught last week's video, we talked a little bit about the difference between acute inflammation and chronic inflammation and how acute inflammation is a good thing. It's how our body protects and starts the repair process. Well, when we transition and we start talking a little bit more about chronic inflammation, this is inflammation that doesn't resolve. And there's a variety of reasons for this. But mostly it is lifestyle driven prior to the assault or the injury that created the inflammatory process that's having a hard time resolving. So chronic inflammation is inflammation, like I said, that's just continuing to persist or to be a part of life. And really, most of the cases that I see in the office pretty much always have a chronic inflammation component to it. In fact, it's estimated that over 50% of adults have at least one chronic inflammation problem going on, and most actually have two chronic inflammatory conditions. Now, chronic inflammation is such a big deal because it's linked to pretty much all the diseases and all the conditions that we experience in society, from heart disease to cancer to diabetes to mental health issues to just a whole digestive issues, a whole bunch of issues ultimately at its core have inflammation as a component. So one of the cool things about what I do in practice is if we can identify and start to implement a game plan for how do we reduce inflammation in the body. And one of the ways is by improving biomechanics, right? If we're constantly irritating a joint or a part of the body because it's overworked or misaligned or what have you, that creates this low-grade inflammation that happens in the body and just keeps building up over time and promotes the next condition or the next disease. And so, like I said, this month, this is a whole, I wish I could do like a full week-long seminar on this, right? Because there's just so much information and it's so fascinating and it plays such a big role in pretty much, like I said, all the conditions, including arthritis, which obviously we see a ton of in the office. And so just some brief tips, some quick things. The cool thing about chronic inflammation is that there are a number of things that we can do to improve it. One of them is to eat better. We got to eat a lot more fruits and vegetables. We got to get away from the sugar. Sugar is such a pro-inflammatory food. It promotes more inflammation. Exercise, obviously. Now, exercise in the beginning can be pro-inflammatory, so we have to be careful with that. However, it is very much an anti-inflammatory mechanism over the long run because it does change our chemical environment in the direction of anti-inflammation, right? It helps with blood sugar and mood and all these other things. Sleep is a big one. Having a regular sleep schedule and having that rhythm is one of the ways that we can reduce inflammation. It's not one of the obvious ones that a lot of people think about or look at, but it's such a big one because that disrupts our hormone regulation, which is a pro-inflammatory state right off of the bat. And so getting regular sleep is the third thing. And then the fourth thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about is, like I said, just biomechanics and just having this low-grade irritation that's occurring in the body. And so if that's one of the things that you struggle with, certainly look us up, let us know about it. There's some things we can do to help. Now, it may involve all of us working together, right? Like eating right, moving right, sleeping right, or thinking right. But it may also involve improving some of the biomechanical things. So anyway, I hope you got something from today's talk. Like I said, there's just so much information and I just want to expand so much, but I know that, these are designed to be short and sweet. So anyway, I hope you got something from today. Until next time, stay healthy and stay well.